Facebook.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Yappy Hour. My name is Charlie Grace, and this is...
I'm Dave.
And he's Dave. He's Dave the man. We are so happy you are with us tonight. I just want to say hello to some friends who are coming in. It's really always nice to see some people. We want to say hi to our special friends. Let's see, I might start all the way at the top because so many people came in early. I love that. Want to give a shout out to the RV DJ. Whoop, whoop. Awesome moderator. Thank you so much. By the way, we got your sticker today. I'm very excited. I got it right here on the board. Very excited. Yeah. We're going to put this on the RV pretty soon, so that'll be really nice as we're traveling. Really cool. Got to put some new stickers up. Let's see who else we have. We have Sue from Lucky Dog Productions. Nice to see you, Sue. Thanks for joining. Burn Up the Roads, Miss Lucretia. Hey, hello. Very excited to see you guys. This is always nice to see friends. Let's see. Got Wicked Adventure. Let's see. Oh, there's Rosie.
There's Rosie.
Rosie's making herself. Well, hello, Rosie. Yeah. She's making herself known. Ladina Lockby. Very nice. Good to see you. Love it when you guys are giving us some thumbs up and some love. So thank you so much. RV Underway, thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lot of friends tonight who are on Facebook, Periscope, and what am I missing here? Twitch. So,
yeah,
apparently we're the cool kids. We're on Twitch now. What can I say? Van Vina's on Twitch. So if you're on Twitch and you're streaming, let us know because we will follow you. We really like Twitch. It's a lot of fun. All the cool kids are doing it.
Now, did you say hi to Avenger?
Not yet.
Okay, so we got Avenger RV is in the house. Barbara Carter, welcome. Nice. We've got Nelly RV Adventure.
Nelly,
there we go. And let's see.
Adventure RV.
Adventure RV. There we go.
I love that name. These guys have really great names. So we're going to do something a little different today.
Comes with the costume.
I think it comes with the costume.
It comes with
I would love to see their RV.
Now, would that be cape or no cape?
No cape. We don't do capes.
Okay.
That's what she said, right? No capes.
That's it. No capes. Gets caught.
That's every time.
And then there's Mason.
Hey, Mason. Thanks for joining us. So let me just give you a little lowdown on what we're doing on Yappy Hour because it's always exciting, right, Dave? So we've got a couple changes.
Yep.
Here's how we're doing tonight. Ready? We have an amazing guest tonight. His name is Michael Burke. He's going to be coming up in a little bit. He is an animal behaviorist, animal communicator, and he's a fabulous meditation guy. I can't tell you. If I listen to his talking, it just calms me down. Very relaxing. Very exciting. So we're going to have him up in a few minutes, and then at 7:30, we're going to do something new called Share 30. We know a lot of you guys love to participate, love to ask questions, but 7:30, if you have a channel or if you have questions and you'd like to be on the live stream, let us know. Mm-hmm. We're going to put a link in the chat so you guys can share your channel, share what's going on in your world, and share how you're smiling this week. So that's always nice to see. So without further ado, Boondocking with Boomers here. Yay! Nice to see you, Lance. How are you? So we are, and Boomer's a great day. You know how much I love great days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my heart goes out to Big Day. So much fun. Let's bring up our special guest. His name is Michael Burke. I met Michael actually watching him online and doing a bunch of stuff, and finally did the whole good old-fashioned, hey, we'd love to have you on Yappy Hour. And he's like, absolutely. So the more I started watching I was reading his stuff and listening to what he did, Dave's like, we got to get him on, right? Mm-hmm. We got to get him on. So without further ado, Mr. Burke, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me?
Okay, we got two thumbs up. There we go.
Thumbs up, not just one. Let's bring him on. Here we go. Yay, there he is.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Charlie, Grace, and David. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you here today because we have so many questions, but the bottom line is this. Let's talk a little about who are you and what do you do? Because that's what everybody wants to know.
Sure. So I am an animal communicator, meaning I connect in intuitively and energetically with animals to understand what they're thinking and feeling. And that's to really work through behavior challenges, to just find out what's up, maybe to check in to see if there are any health issues. But I also am a behaviorist. So I'm a certified dog trainer, and I'm also a certified life coach and meditation instructor. So I combine all of them into what I do. And I often, people will come to me when they have challenges with their animals and they're trying to figure out what a problem is, what a behavior issue is. So I will connect in and share what I am feeling from the animal, again, connecting in intuitively and energetically. And then I will follow up with suggestions regarding behavior training. And then even take it a step further and make suggestions maybe for the human, because sometimes when there are challenges happening with an animal, it can be related to the energy of the human. So that's where I come in with the life coaching and the meditation teaching.
I think that's fabulous, because we do talk about, especially when we're talking about behavioral training and whatnot, it may not be just the dog. I think you have to look at the whole family pack, and you have to look at the interactions with the whole team. And I think that's fabulous. I want to give a shout out to Burning Up the Roads for their $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Just so you know, for you guys who are giving us super stickers, we are using that money to pay for shelter dogs that have been in shelters the longest, that we're going to pay their adoption fees with that money that we get. So thank you so much. We do appreciate that. So how do people, well, everyone has a special dog or a special pet. How do you assess?
How do I assess a dog so how do I just assess in a session? Like, how do I?
Yeah.
So I assess by observing how the dog behaves within their natural environment and how the human is engaging with the dog. I'll just listen and observe and watch. But then I'm not only using my eyes, I'm using all of my senses. I'm really present. I'm feeling into the situation. I'm using my instincts. I'm using my intuition. I call it whole body listening, where you're not really in your head, but you're in your heart and you're in your solar plexus, your soul. And really feeling in that way, and just sort of like taking a step back and objectively observing without judging, because there are, I always say to clients that there's no right or wrong necessarily. There's just different choices, and different choices have different outcomes.
Right.
For better or worse.
Oh sure. And I was going to say, in doing the whole body thing, I mean, that's not only just looking at your pet, that's also how is the owner interacting in the entire moment as well, I'm assuming.
Right, exactly. Because it really, for an animal, in my experience, animals they're living in the moment. They're picking up on energy. They're very sensitive to energy, way beyond humans. And the human may be doing things or thinking things or feeling things that they have no clue that the animal is picking up on. And so a person might be there with their dog and they're standing there, and the person doesn't realize how tense they are. They're clenched, or their jaws tight, or they have a stern look on their face. And then me, the observer, may step in and say, like, okay, breathe. You take a deep breath, and then they're like, oh, and then the dog shifts a little bit, so, or like the leash, having the leash wrapped around their arm, it's like a tight, and that's like a main line of energy to the dog. And so redirecting or guiding the human into a different way of being in that moment can really shift the energy of the animal. And even the human just having an understanding of being mindful of their own energy and being really in the moment, rather than thinking about yesterday or thinking about the future, if this dog is going to get over this, or focusing on what they don't want, like, why is he not sitting? He's not sitting. Why is he panting? They're focusing on what they don't want. And so they're projecting something into the atmosphere that the animal, the dog, is like, okay, I'm getting mixed signals. You're asking me to sit.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling you not sitting. So what is it? So yeah, just taking a deep breath and redirecting the human gently, because people are sensitive.
Yes.
But I feel like that really can sometimes make a huge difference. Just like, oh, right. Yeah, I need to be present in the moment, and I need to be mindful of my energy. And then the dog is agreeable and responsive, and more calm sometimes too,
Absolutely. I think you hit it on the nail. Mindful of your own personal energy. I know one of the things, we talk about, when you're working with animals is, if you are tense, like you just said, it's going to rub off. That kind of energy, I call it prickly. If you were to see someone like they're spiky all over them, no one really wants to be around that person. So why would that dog want to be around that person?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or similarly, I'll always refer to Pigpen in Snoopy and Peanuts.
Okay.
Pigpen
You're speaking my language now. There we go.
He loves Snoopy. This is good.
I'm a Peanuts nut. So.
Oh yeah. I'm a big Peanuts nut too. Snoopy was a big inspiration for me growing up, and still is.
Oh yeah.
So that's a quick right. Like even when I'm connecting in intuitively with like an intuitive session with animals, communicating, connecting that way, a lot of times that will come to me. Like my head will bring in similar, some familiar, not similar, familiar symbols for me to refer to best articulate the energy that I'm picking up on. And that Pigpen is one often. I'll be like, so Pigpen, that's kind of the energy that you have. So we need to like clear away that dust cloud because that's what your dog is picking up on.
Oh yeah. And now, and actually, Darlene Sue just made a great observation with, noticing the dogs get stressed when she does, and it's been a very stressful year with all that's going on with the, for the folks out west going through the wildfires and, seeing smoke in the air, and it's like hundreds of miles away, the COVID going on, and this is like massive stressors.
Lots of economic upheavals.
Yeah. How do you walking down the street? How are you, are you picking up extra stuff off of the animals that you're interacting with just sort of casually? I mean, is it?
Yeah, I do. And I do definitely practice obviously, as you said, I'm a meditation teacher, as I said. So I'm used to practicing grounding myself, clearing myself. So it's not that I like every time I walk out the door, I'm like imagining myself in a bubble of white light to protect myself, and I'm living on the edge of, sensitive fear. But I feel through a regular practice of meditation, I'm able to stay grounded and resilient as the winds are kind of coming through. I can hold steady like a palm tree blowing in a storm. I might, bend a little. So, but I'm grounded. So when I am walking around, I do pick up on that stuff. Yeah. More objectively aware of it without absorbing it. So it's like, okay, I see that. And maybe sometimes it's like, all right, I've got 3 dogs. So they'll be like, all right, we're going to cross the street now.
Yeah.
We're going to like just avoid that, or it's feeling a little chaotic or, so it is. And especially I live in Los Angeles, and during the protests, it was very crazy, like literally outside the door. So that was even more like some of those nights where there was the looting and it was really intense right outside, having to take the dogs for a walk, at night, and fire, like businesses on fire, like just a few blocks away, and, tear gas in the air. But I recognize, especially for my own dogs, I often use the example of flight attendants on airplanes putting the mask on themselves before putting it on their child. I make sure that I'm like a calm, confident pack leader for my dogs. So regardless of what's coming, I'm holding ground for them, and they follow me. So
that is awesome.
Very good point.
Oh my gosh.
Boondocking with Boomer has a question. He wants to know, is there a difference between an animal behaviorist and an animal communicator? It's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. So I think that I think there is a difference. So an animal behaviorists or behavioralists, they do communicate. There are a lot of different ways of communicating. I think that a lot of animal communicators, as far as the definition of somebody who in their work, they are connecting telepathically, energetically, intuitively from that method, they may not be well versed or educated in behavior. So for example, I was doing, me growing up, I came from a big Irish Catholic family, and there was a lot of like praying and saints and angels, and talks about talking about all that stuff. But there was also a lot of like awareness of the power of our energy and the power of prayer, and from that perspective, away from like the like religious side of it. It was more just like the energy and believing in something beyond our typical, societal traits. And so I was connecting in intuitively with people, reading people, picking up on stuff, as were my siblings. And my family was really supportive of that and encouraging of that. So I grew up in an environment where we talked about it. We shared our vibes. I'm getting a vibe about this. I'm getting a vibe about that. And like it was, encouraged. And I started to kind of, I was starting to casually do it with people, and people were coming to me with their problems with animals. And so, and I was always an animal person too, by, nature. And so, with all of the people coming to me with their animal problems, I was like, okay, well, you don't need me to be connecting in to like, tell you what's wrong. I mean, I can tell you what's wrong, but what I can ultimately tell you is you need a trainer or this dog needs training or behavior modification. So my point with that is, well, I went out and learned dog training and animal behavior, dog behavior, specifically. So I could do sessions with people and communicate with the animal and tune in with the animal and share what I feel like I'm getting, what I feel is going on with the animal, what they're afraid of, what's triggering them, what they might be needing or desiring or lacking or loving. But then also being able to be like, now here are the tools, the training, the behavior techniques that are going to help you get through this. So long answer to your question. I think that they can blend together, but they can also be, again, like a behaviorist might not be communicating in the way that I'm talking about communicating, communicating through leash work. And that's that's enough, certainly.
There's definitely a difference. I know we have quite a few people on that travel with their pets, and that's a very big thing, especially right now. And one of the main questions that we had a while back was, when you're traveling with your dog, I know we travel with our dog, and all of a sudden we open up that door in the RV, and she thinks it's like Narnia. Like, where are we today? I don't know. Are we, in Alabama? Did we go to Georgia? I don't know. And there's a grounding section, and we were talking about this, I watch my dog when we get out. She just wants to lay on the ground, like just sort of orientate herself, like, where the heck are we? And how do we deal with that? So have you dealt with people who travel with their pets?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I have dealt with people that travel with their pets, and they want me to connect it. They'll say that their animal is overwhelmed, or it's a lot, or my animal is picking up on so much energy in this new environment, and what do I do, and how do I protect them, or what do they need, or what do they want, and so I do get those questions, and often the answer is that it again, sort of similar to what we were saying before, it all comes back to the human. If the human is feeling calm, confident, grounded, and has a clear intention, when you open up the doors to your RV and you're like, we're good. This is good. This is a great environment. Or maybe it's a little sketchy, but you're good. I've got you. You don't have to worry about this. This isn't your job, unless you want it to be the dog's job to enforce. But, I'll say, just hold an energetic frequency of the calm, confident leader and really focus on that and feel it and embody that, because you're going to radiate that in your environment. So when you step out into that campground or whatever, when you're feeling that, your dogs will follow suit. But if you're worried about them, or you're focused about the last campground where there were people, shooting fireworks off, and you're worried about the fireworks, your dog's going to pick up on that. Like, what do we need to worry about? What do we like? Are you going to open the door? And there's the nervous, anxious excitability there that could potentially happen. So yeah.
And dog anxiety is another big topic of a lot of the people that are on our chat. They talk about, my dog has anxiety when I leave the house. My dog has anxiety due to fireworks. My dog has anxiety because we're traveling. And we talk about, how are you feeling personally? How are you around the dog during those moments? Are you, enabling? I don't use the word enabling, but it's true. You can enable that behavior, absolutely.
I use that. Yep.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. And then, so what are some suggestions? So I know one of the things, you were big in meditation. So let's talk about that just a little bit. So you do meditation yourself, and you do meditation as a group. I think we're going to put some links, of course, for your page, some other online things. Tell me just a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I am a meditator. I've been meditating for many, many years as a way of, I actually started meditating in high school when I had to take the SATs, or it was actually the PSATs. And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was so stressed. And my sister gave me a meditation cassette tape to listen to, and it changed everything. It really softened my edges about it. It really helped me get through those years of being 17, 18, 19, and then, college. So that's when I started, and then even like getting into the world, and for years I worked in corporate America in advertising sales, and that was something that really kept me grounded through everything. And I just started to share it with my clients because, again, I was seeing that a lot of people were tense and stressed and not in the moment, like
Right.
I said, thinking about the past or the future and not what's happening in front of them. So I started to teach it to clients one-on-one, and then teaching in groups online. And I work with Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. I'm on his team, and I am the meditation director for Training Caesar's Way. So we're not having any events this year, but typically we do events about 5 or 6, at least 5 or 6 events a year at his ranch, the Dog Psychology Center. So at those events too, I'm the meditation teacher there. Throughout the day, we'll do, like in the morning, we do meditation, and then midday. And then we do some big on his fundamentals of dog behavior level 2. We go deeper with it. Mm-hmm. So I do some more exercises and mindfulness techniques and personal development kind of techniques to help people to really connect in with their blocks and their shadows and things that are going on within them that they don't realize are affecting their dogs. Because again, it's the energy. And when we're carrying the weight of our lives and we're not, we're kind of pushing it away, it can perpetuate, it can lead to the way we connect with our animals and how we're training them or not training them. And so meditation really is a great tool to ground, center, and release some of that muck or the prickliness.
All that muck. I love that. We've got a question here real quick from Darlie C. Thank you so much. It says, question for soon-to-be nomads or new nomads. Any tips on sleeping through the night without the dogs barking at every single noise? I think we've seen this before. Mine are pretty barky, having moved to an apartment recently with new noises.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So, well, exercise, first of all, making sure, and I know a lot of times when I bring that up to people will say, oh yeah, I took my dog for a walk today. Or I let the dogs out in the yard, but I'm talking about like multiple walks a day, structured walks, but also mental exercises. So mentally challenging your dog through, it could be simple obedience cues. It could be makeshift agility around the house. It could be simple scent work. It could be puzzles, but really not just letting your dog run around out in the yard, but actually like putting them in a follower state where they have to follow you. It's very structured. They can't be pulling. They have to walk next to you, behind you. And, but then, so the physical as well as the mental drain can help. But then also I often suggest, even like fans or like I know with my dogs, I have one dog that picks up on stuff, and I have an air purifier that's really loud to block out the noise as well as a fan. And that actually has helped. Dogs can be sensitive and pick up on sounds we don't hear, but sometimes those sound, drowning out noise reducers, or what do they call it? Atmospheric.
White noise machines?
Yes, that's it. Okay. Thank you. White noise machines can help, provided they don't keep you awake.
Yes.
And actually, when you were talking about that, I was actually wondering about the white noise machine. Does it have a wide enough frequency variance that, it'll satisfy the dog ear? I know it works on human hearing, but as you said, dogs are much more sensitive, and their hearing is much, much better than ours. I know with Rosie, I mean, she can hear the UPS man a half mile away, 2 turns.
She's very
Before.
auditory. She's very,
yeah.
there's no doubt about it. Yeah. So you just sit there and you go, if she doesn't, and she has cute ears too, but that's beside
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
right. So that's a good question. You know, I honestly, I don't know if they do. My feeling is that there are some that do, because
Okay.
I have clients that have gotten some, not specifically looking for that they told me, but I would recommend that, getting a white noise machine for sleeping, and they got one and they said it worked well. So maybe they all do, but that's a good question. I would bet some don't.
yeah.
And it depends on the sensitive dog too. You know,
Oh yeah.
some are. So that's why it's good to wear them out.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I think you made a very good point about physical and mental, because there are some very smart dogs out there who really need that challenge. They need that job. They need those things to do. I know. Now you have 3 dogs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of dogs, and what are their names?
They're all sleeping right here. There's
Yeah. Don't wake them on our couch.
yeah. Yeah, if the gardener comes, you'll hear them. I'm hoping the gardener doesn't show up. Dasher is an Australian Shepherd Blue Heeler mix, and she's 7.
Oh, pretty.
And Atticus is a Blue Merrill Aussie. And Buddy, who's asleep right here, and Atticus is 3.5. And Buddy is 1.5 years. He's also an Australian Shepherd, and he's a black tri Aussie.
Oh wow!
He's actually like a chocolate color, but he's considered a black tri. So yeah, they're all big dogs. And we had a pit mix who passed away suddenly a year ago at 9 years old. Yeah, Harlow. So she's a big mascot for my life and my business and my work. So. She lives on in spirit, and I still sometimes post photos of her, and there are photos of her on my website and in my social media, and she's still with us in spirit. So,
you know, we talk about when you have a pet and greeting a pet, there's a real greeting process, and people need to acknowledge that and go through it. And it's very important, because I mean, we've gone through it. I was a literal mess a few years ago over this little dog we had. It was one of those things where my father had passed away a few months before. And I was upset, but I don't think I was as upset when the dog came. I was a mess.
Yeah.
So people have to go through that process and acknowledge it, and it's okay. It's totally fine.
And Miss Precious was a unique individual.
She came she came pre-named. We didn't name her Miss Precious. This was a pre-named rescue that just sort of came our way.
She was rescued out of a breeding hoarder incident, and so. Yeah, we figured, okay, you've been through enough.
Oh yeah.
They actually.
Oh wait, we don't want to talk about.
Yeah. Anyway, so we didn't want to rename her. I mean, didn't want to have her go through all of that.
Yeah. So we kept the name. She had the most amazing life. Let's just say.
I love the name, actually.
She was so sweet. When you live in the South, you have to have a certain decorum, and you have to have a certain name. And she lived up to her name.
Yes, she did.
And what kind of she?
She was an Applehead Chihuahua.
Or as she liked to think of herself,
I like to say she was a miniature lab.
A miniature lab, because we also at that time had a yellow lab, and her coloring and the lab's coloring
looked like a mother-daughter.
Like a mother-daughter.
It was hilarious.
So we never mentioned the C word around this.
And honestly, I can say this now. At the time, I was not a little dog fan.
Oh no!
I like Great Danes. I had Great Pyrenees. I had Shepherds. I had all these. I mean, I worked in an aquarium with whales and dolphins. I mean, little dogs were like, I don't know. I mean, it's nice, but I'm like, I don't know. So for me to have a little dog, and then for me to overcome that whole, oh my God, I strolled that dog up a mountain at the Great Smoky.
Very true.
All the way up a mountain.
Very true.
I don't think I'd ever do that.
Oh, wow.
The things you do for your dog. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's worth it.
It was worth it.
Never thought we'd be buying a stroller for the dog. I mean,
it's an opportunity for them to go places they otherwise.
Exactly right.
It is.
Exactly right. And she got to meet, like I said, amazing people. And I think the first week I had her, she made the front page of the paper. So Bless her heart. She was just a godsend. But anyways, I love
I
these
thought
things.
about getting one of those for getting a stroller for one of my cats, just to like, because the harness training it's just not happening. But just to bring her along, or the backpack. I actually thought the backpack with like the bubble, the plastic bubble on it, or peeking her head out and go, because I go hiking every day here in the Hollywood Hills. And so I was thinking maybe I could bring her and just put her in the back, and she's like one of the dogs,
You can do that.
She thinks she's a dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's temperament. I mean, honestly, if the cat has that attitude of, you want me to do what? Why? then maybe they're not the right one. But if they have that, oh, cool feeling, hey, there you go. You got a hiking buddy.
There's a picture of me that everyone likes to joke at, but it's one of those things where I think when you have a connection, or when you're able to, you talk about an intuitive situation and you're able to feel what things are going on and whatever. There's a picture of me walking. We had a 250-acre farm for a while back. There's me walking with a horse following me, with a dog following the horse, with a goat following the dog, and a cat behind that. It just looks like a little parade.
Or an illustration of a children's book.
It does.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
So I've been crowned a few different terms lately since of course we've done more dog things. I've been called the fairy dog mother, which is, I'll take that one, which is nice.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to some friends, because we're at that 7:30 hour, and there's some really nice people who've come on board. I just want to make sure we say hi.
And one from the Grand Canyon.
That's right, the dog and us. Hey, Ellie and Tom.
Oh my
and their
God.
dog Alaska.
They have a beautiful dog Alaska, and apparently they are now the three of them at the Grand Canyon National Park.
Wonderful. Very excited.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Their goal is to take their dog to every single national park. It's going to be a few years, but that's their goal. So that's what they want to do.
Oh, that's inspiring.
And their purpose is to give their dog its best life.
Yes.
That's a good purpose.
That's wild. That's awesome.
It's a great thing to do. Okay, we got a couple questions real quick. Michael, do you know Debbie McGillivray?
What the heck?
From the Untamed Journey? Do you know that? Have you ever met this person?
I saw that over here right before you pulled this up. I saw that, and now it's sounding familiar, but no, I don't. But it's sounding familiar now that I'm looking at her name.
We'll have to look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think 17B is too big to carry?
17 pounds?
Pounds. There we go. Pounds.
Pounds.
Oh, good question.
Do you think 17 pounds is too much to carry?
How muscular are you?
Right. I was going to say, it depends on what kind of strength you're in. If you're wearing a weight belt, your legs, are you bending your knees? My dad always said, make sure you're bending your knees.
Well, we've got our second oldest is 6'7", 330. I think that 17 pounds is actually lighter than his bowling ball. So,
good point.
Yeah.
But hiking with that, I could see
hiking,
that. So, yeah. I mean, I think you have to look at your own physical condition. But if dogs, mobility changes over the years, as we all know, with different pets. Some, we do need to look at assistive kind of things. We talk about strollers or wagons, or do they actually need wheels for some of their legs? That happens.
Oh, yeah.
But backpacking, I love the idea of backpacking.
Was that a cat, or the 17-pound, was that a dog or a cat?
I don't know. Let's ask.
I don't know.
It could have been a cat, actually.
Yeah.
Well,
since we were talking about carrying the cat, and there are cats, a Maine Coon or a
right.
I carry Boomer, and he's 135 pounds. Look at Boomer there.
That's
showing off. That's just showing off. And by the way, I want to see a picture of that. So
yeah. I want photographic video evidence of you carrying around the Dane. Absolutely.
I think he might be carrying the human. He might be
like a saddle.
It's a little poodle. Darlene C says it's a little poodle, and it's 17 pounds.
There you go.
To me, that sounds doable.
Yeah. Yeah. We've seen pugs that are bigger than that people carry around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Always talk to your doctor first.
Yes. And your chiropractor.
Well,
because you'll be seeing them later.
Wait a second. What are we thinking about? People have toddlers with those little back things, and they're easily 17, 18, 20 pounds. I mean, granted, you wish they could walk on their own, but they usually don't.
Yeah, this is what Will Nelly says. Her pug is 30 pounds. Wow.
Oh, wow. Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And I bet they
Wow.
snore.
And yes.
Yeah. And it may be a little drooly, so you might have to bring a sweat towel on the hike. Leaving a trail. You'll leave a trail so you know your way back to your car in case you get lost, because you got to be safe. So bring the pug for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this.
Yeah, I got speaking of drool, I got loved on by a pair of Newfoundlands this weekend.
Oh.
And oh wow. Yes.
I think
drool is real.
I think we made Dave's weekend this weekend. I'm gonna just brag for a second here. So one of our amazing not-for-profits that we work with called Leash On Life, they're all over the country, they do wonderful jobs. We got a call, oh gosh, they have 2 big events, and we got a call and they said, hey, we are gonna take over the Nashville Shores Water Park. We would love to have you and Rosie be a guest. And I'm like, put us down. Absolutely. What can we do to help out? Not a problem. And we get there, and there's over 500 dogs that are taking over the wave pool. They didn't turn the waves on, by the way, just the wave pool.
Yeah,
taking over the lazy river, taking over the splash pads. It was so much fun. So we were very blessed to be there and participate in this and watch everybody. But what the one special guest on top of us was a horse, a miniature rescue horse.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That was
I don't think that was Shetland. I just think she was a miniature
just
horse.
a miniature horse, and it was a rescue horse that's now a therapy horse. And she did great with all the dogs.
And
she
the
was
fanciest footwear I have ever seen. I mean, think
really?
of the paw
Shiny.
pad. Think of the paw pads that you see with pups a lot to make sure that concrete doesn't hurt their paws. Then make them be a little bit more substantial, sparkly purple with Velcro, and they wrap around the hoof.
They looked awesome. She had a blast.
Wow, I bet she felt like she was her best self.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, to watch these dogs and their owners, because I could see the anxiety in a lot of people's eyes. I could see the whole, you mean I'm going to just let my dog go? Or, you have to be responsible for your dog. You can't just go sit down and read a book. You got to stay with them like a little toddler kid. Exactly right. Yep. Find them. What are they doing? And we were given extra leashes in case there were escapees, because I felt like Chuck E. Cheese was standing there at the don't let them out. Get out.
That's it.
But we were blessed. We got to do a little video of it. So we'll at the end of today we'll show you some of the people we met. But
that's great.
I want to put this up real quick. If there's anybody out there that would like to come up, we're going to put the StreamYard link, and you guys will be. All we do ask is that if you're on YouTube or any other thing, that you guys mute that before you come into StreamYard. If you want to come up, that's great. If you want to stay behind, totally fine. Just want to put up that link right now so people have the opportunity and know what's going on. Well, Nellie said her pug's snout is not as smushed. Snores, but not drools.
Oh, well, that's probably helpful.
Yeah.
Less challenges, because I know that can be really surgically open them up sometimes, or they can't breathe. It affects their eating, their sense of smell.
Oh yeah.
So Michael, what is one of your more challenging cases that you've worked with? And I hate to say cases because it's more your partners.
That's a good question. So most challenging case, I there was actually a woman who reached out to me who was having, this is sort of an interesting story. She had a horse. This is her horse that was, and I'm, by the way, and I'm not I don't have horses. I'm not a horse, I'm not a big horse person, but I'm willing to help out with challenges.
Oh, sure.
And her horse was, kept throwing her off. And she was trying to ride her horse, and I kept throwing her off. She's like, I don't know what to do, and I'm afraid to ride my horse. And I was not being a horse person. I thought, okay, well, this is going to be challenging here. I don't know if I'll be able to speak this language of the horse connecting in. So I intuitively connected in, and I kept hearing sacred. It was a sacred ceremonies, or no, sacred closure. I keep hearing sacred closure. And there needs to be sacred closure, and you haven't had sacred closure. Is there something that you haven't given closure to in some sort of ceremonial way? And she told me that her her son had passed away within the year, and her son always worked with the horse, and would it was like would attend to the horse. I think he was like a teenager. He was probably like 16, I think, and he passed away suddenly, and she hadn't had a funeral or anything. And this wasn't during the coronavirus or anything. This was a while ago, but I said, what I'm getting is that the horse feels like you need to honor, like there has been no honoring of the memory and the spirit and the relationship of this boy, your son that's passed away. And she was like, my daughter and I have been wanting to do it, and we haven't gotten around to it. And we've been feeling bad about it. And it really has been weighing me down. And it was almost like, she was carrying this energy that she'd get on the horse, and the horse was, not only did the horse have a connect, horses are very empathic, and they're really tuned in. But she was just like this heavy weight on the horse. And so I said, I feel like you should have some sort of like sacred ceremony, even if it's just a little something. So she did. She ended up getting in touch with me, calling me back and saying, my daughter and I, we had a little ceremony with the horse where we like played some music. We put some photos up. We just had a little, just within our own little family. And she was able to ride the horse again. She was able to get on the horse. It never happened again. And so, she was making, I feel she was providing peace to the horse, but also peace for herself and clearing her energy. So then, and she was feeling more confident too, getting on the horse because she had rid herself of that energy. So, yeah, it was very fascinating. It was an interesting, so it wasn't a dog, but, animals are animals, energy is energy, people are people. And there's a lot we can learn. And I learned a lot from that too, just, the little ways that our animals are tuned in and plugged into us and how they're affected by the little things that we may not even realize. And when we kind of pull the lens back and hear it or feel it from a different perspective, it can be like, wow, it's a much more complex web that we live within,
How often do you find that we are our own worst enemies when it comes in the relationship with our pets, and how they're acting and how we perceive them as having a problem?
That's a great question. I would say like the majority of the time. I mean, it probably like 95% of the, it's usually, often animals are an open, like kids too, a lot of time, young little kids, like animals are like a clean slate. Sure, there can be stuff that happens or whatever, but often they're just like, they're just willing to respond to whatever's happening around them. And it's the human with all of their energy and emotion and overthinking and worrying and analyzing and dumping that on the animal, the dog. The dog can't catch a break. And it's like, all right, well, I'm going to respond to all of this. So it often in what we do, it's sort of like unraveling that tangle that's been created by the human and, bringing them back to their original clear, clean palette and authentic self.
Wonderful. It makes a big difference. So, we talk about, if you're high strung, how it affects other things. And I think one of the cute, I can't talk tonight. It's been one of those days. I should have like an ice cream cone and just sit here and listen to you. I'll be fine. No, one of the things we talked about was, the don't wants. You talked about don't wants. And I'm a huge proponent of projecting what is or what you want as opposed to what you don't want, especially when we talk about training and that sort of thing. So give me a little example of why you say that.
Because usually people are, they'll come to me and they'll say, I want my dog to stop lunging at the door whenever the UPS guy comes by or whenever there's anything. I don't want my dog to do that. I don't want my dog to do that. And he's misbehaving and he shouldn't be doing that. And I tell him, I say, don't do that. And I yell at him. I say, don't do that. Stop it. But like, again, like from an energetic perspective and a visual, in their head, the human is thinking about everything I just said. Like, I don't want that. I'm seeing every time somebody comes by, like the human is playing this like never ending loop in their head of what they don't want, what they don't like. And then the emotion that they feel, the human's response around the animal responding that way. So, so in just saying, okay, well, just acknowledge what's going on, acknowledge what's happening, and then focus on what you do want, and not only focus on what you do want, but feel it. And it isn't something that happens overnight, like with anything, it's like a muscle that you have to train. You're going to have to stick with the program. Give yourself at maybe 30 days of just every day as your dog starts barking at the door or somebody going by, just breathe. Focus on, bring your energy into what does it feel, even before it happens, actually, to take a step back, maybe even like when you wake up in the morning, just feel your day, not, I don't want Dasher, my dog Dasher, to be barking at the door because she does this. I don't want her to be barking at the door. So, it's like me waking up in the morning and just feeling this is going to be a great day. Dasher is going to be very peaceful, agreeable, submissive, quiet, cool, and people are going to come by and drive by and they're going to knock, and Dasher's just going to be an angel. And I feel so good knowing that it's so peaceful and quiet and calm, and she's calm, and we're just really on the same page, and it's just so serene. And I could meditate as people are coming and going, and Dasher's going to be meditating with me. So me doing that, like just getting into the feeling and visualizing it and kind of going down that tangent. And just, it's like an active meditation. It's practicing that visualization meditation. Me doing that every day, not in the moment when it's happening, because it's almost like you have to, it's good to do it in the moment, but do it before it happens. So you're creating a foundation and a firm grounding within yourself. So then when it happens, you're still radiating that energy, and it won't happen overnight. And sure, there's going to be some techniques of maybe redirecting or the dog training techniques that you're going to layer on top of that. But beginning with that energy really can shift things a lot. And sometimes in that specific situation with Dasher, I'll be like, okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know, because she's a worker breed, thank you for letting me know. I got it. Or I'll peek out the window. Oh, great. There's somebody walking by. Neat. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I got it. And she'll be like, oh. All right. Yeah. I sound the alarm. You checked on it. We're good.
Yep. That's the dog and us said Alaska is an energy sponge. Alaska is the name of their dog, by the way. I always say she's an empath, but I think all dogs are.
Yeah, I do too.
Yes, and I'm still in training, by the way, for that whole door thing. Is that I'm the one who is the overreacting dog dad, and I'm owning it. I'm owning it. I am. And
that's the first step.
The
first step is
there you go.
I'm very simple. She barks. She comes to me. I put my finger down. Her nose touches my finger. She's like, okay, good. We've got that. We're good. So I've told you what's happening. You recognized it. We can move on. I'm like, all right.
Oh yeah. Well, there's got to be like the leader, the structure, the ruler, and then like the heart, and the lover. And it seems like there's usually that, and sure, like the heart, not that one can't be the other, but in my experience, there's often
okay,
the pack mate and the pack leader.
You've never met Tennessee Redhead. Ooh, this is the leader and the heart right here.
Michael, I will tell you right now, when we were dating and we decided to get married, I bought him a T-shirt and I had it made saying, "Pray for me, I married a Tennessee Redhead."
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
No, it's all good.
And I can tell you exactly where it is in my closet. Oh yeah.
To this day. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, I just want to say real quick, Whoa Nelly, thanks for coming by. We really appreciate it. We know it's like when you guys have lives too. We're going to be stopping by and watching a lot of other live streams tonight. So for those of you who want to stay on YouTube tonight, and you want to watch something after Yappy Hour, make sure you guys go over to Whoa Nelly, and we'll drop a link in for that, which is always nice. So thanks for coming by. Want to say some highs to Nanotink Treasures. Oh my gosh, very excited to have some new people come on and see what we're doing. It's always nice to see you. And we have Michael Burke tonight, who's been answering questions and talking about the relationship between you and your pet, and how you communicate, and how you learn how to have a better relationship with him based upon your communication and energy skills, which is great. Now, Michael, I will tell you, I had some really good friends years ago, and my mantra has always been, think it, feel it, know it. Simple, but it's very simple. I've always said, you can think about anything, but if you don't feel it, is it really there? No. So you've got to think about it, you've got to feel it, and then you've got to really in your gut know it. Don't get that second guessing of, well, I don't know, maybe so, or, just psych yourself out of it. So we've had some really good friends. I know Mel Robbins is a good friend of mine. If you've heard her do her 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Don't give your brain a chance to psych you out of it. You need to do it. We've had a lot of really interesting people talking about how when you're working with creating better relationships with individuals, as well as creating better relationships with pets. I think right now with COVID and a lot of people at home, they're really looking for more comfort from their pets than they ever have before.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? As far as, do you think that we're putting too much expectation on them? Or is it just something that we're going to have to learn how to have a better way of dealing with it?
My feeling is ideally it would be nice to learn a better way of dealing with it. We're human, and in times of crises, we turn to our pets for love and comfort and grounding. But sometimes that can be a lot to dump on a pet. Especially if they're sensitive, it can manifest in behavior challenges. So I feel that you can be there's a balance there. You can be relying on your animals to provide comfort and love and an outlet and inspiration and support and companionship, while also still being there for them and mindful of them and how your energy is affecting them, and also making sure that you are not always leading with emotion, that you're leading with your instincts, and that you are meeting them where they're at in an instinctual level rather than the emotional level. Being mindful of the energy states that you are giving attention and affection to, whether it be treats or touching or sweet talking. Be mindful of your dog's state of being. Are they excited or are they nervous, anxious, and you're touching them and you're saying it's okay? Well, you could be enabling that behavior, perpetuating that behavior, making it worse. So just being aware of that, and but at the same time, like sharing the love and sharing the comfort and having those moments, but just being mindful of it and balanced with it. And I do feel like there is an opportunity right now with the whole pandemic, with all of these people adopting more animals, which is great.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like a collective heaviness in the world today. And so if animal owners can, learn more, and that's what I think both of our missions are, is to educate, enlighten, offer guidance and suggestions and tools to help in this time we're in, so people are staying ahead of that and creating good habits and not enabling energy and behavior that may turn around and become problematic.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I agree 100%. Well, Michael, this has been an amazing Yappy Hour. I am so happy you got to join us tonight, and I really appreciate all of our friends who came in the chat tonight, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who watch the replay, which is always nice. So for those watching the replay, if you guys can leave a comment, that's always wonderful. Michael, we're going to give you the last word of the night before we go on, and we're going to do our dog spotting after this. So what would you like to tell our audience?
Well, thank you to everybody for being here. I was focusing on our hosts, but I'm glancing at the comments, and I'm just grateful that you're here, you're listening, you're connecting, you're contributing, and keep being centered, keep being grounded, keep breathing, keep setting a great example for yourself and for your animals, and be easy on yourselves and be calm, confident leaders. Start and end with calm, and live in the moment. Those are my inspirational words.
Solid. Awesome.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Well, we're going to put you backstage if you can hold on just a second. We'll move you back there.
All right, bye, everybody.
Say bye. He's awesome.
Oh, that was great.
He's awesome. I know. I'm just so excited. You sit back and you when you meet someone who is genuine and they understand and they get the fact when you talk about energy and animals and communication and being a behaviorist. I mean, He checks all the boxes.
Oh, he does.
He's
Absolutely.
wonderful. I know. Well, we want to do a little sharing, and we were so excited that we talked about going to Natural Shores, and we met a lot of people. And one of the things that we like to do in our give backs is when we go to these events, we take people's pictures with their pets, just as a memorial, so they get to see. Many times people want to have a really nice picture, but we took a lot of pictures, and we wanted to showcase them tonight, right?
Yep. And just for those people who want to go after us to go see Whoa Nellie.
That's right.
RV Adventures. I just put a link to her live stream here in, looks like about 5 minutes.
Absolutely. And we're also going to put another link, of course, from Mr. Michael Burke. So
Yep.
if you want to go check out that. But right now, we're going to share some photos of our new friends. Thank you so much for joining. We'll be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boondocking with Boomer will be here. Very excited. And we'll talk to you next week.
Y'all have a great week.
I remember myself young and restless, a lampoon of youth. So who am I to really teach you anything? Do I know what's true? True for you. But at least I think there are some nuggets found along the way. That, for instance, you must learn to wait for night to turn into day. Night to turn into day. But if your aim is straight, and if you're willing to wait, you're gonna get there. Wait and see. If you can take some rain, you'll get twice the sun, my friend. You're gonna get there. Wait and see. You'll get there eventually. Don't you try to run away from shadows. They always catch us. Learn to face whatever demons come your way. Don't become a stranger to hard labor. There's no other way. Hear me when I say, but if your aim is straight, and if you're willing to wait, you're gonna get there. Wait and see. If you can take some rain, you'll get twice the sun, my friend.
So thank you everyone who came out. And oops. We got excited there. Thank you everybody for coming out. And if you want to take a look at your pictures, and if you want to download them, you can go to our website at foreverbestfriend.com. And there's a link that says Find My Photos. Until then, see everybody next week.
Y'all have a great week.